Westfalish Saxon consonants. Now, before we begin, there is no standardization, and that everyone within the regions of Westphalia speak differently, so please bear that in mind. Let's begin. B, as in English B, in the start and middle of words, and at the end of words, it's a P sound. Double B is as in English B, so B, but at the end of words, it's a P sound. CH is represented through G, and it makes a H sound at the start and end of words. And to elaborate, it's a H sound. H sound. D, as in English D, maybe in some older dialects, or I don't even think people even speak like this today, but apparently D between vowels has a voiced TH, so it's like a Z sound. I'm not too sure whether people actually still speak like this, but that's something to bear in mind. Other than that, it would still be a D, but at the end of words, it would be at the end of words, it's a T sound. The thing is, not the whole dialect doesn't speak like this. I mean, there are variations of or combinations of what I say. I mean, as far as like, well, D, is always a D, but like whether it's a Z sound, that depends. Or whether it ends with a D sound, it could be a T sound. I don't know. It really depends. Because people tend to speak however they want, so it's really hard to record. Anyway, moving on. Apparently, again, this could have a d sound, or it could have a t sound. It depends. F is pretty straightforward. I mean, given the nature of this dialect and how diverse it is, you can either pick or choose F or V. Whether you want to start with a F or start with a V, it's really up to you. So, I mean, F or V, pretty much. G. Now, G is a complex one. At the start of end of words, it's again that ch sound. But before en, G is a y sound. It's a fronted G. In the middle of words, it could have an English g, or it can have like a German h sound, depending on the nature of the word. So please bear that in mind. Then, how to explain this? Let's say you have one word that ends with a G, but the next word after it starts with a vowel. Then the G of the previous word has something called a voiced velar fricative, which is kind of a r sound. It's a loch, like loch, lochik. Further, with G, was specifically with the Gravenberg dialect, that G before A, U, O, A with the ring, GL, GR, GN, GEN, it's a sound, and before EI, umlaut A, it's a kind of a Y sound. These sounds may be in other dialects as well. I mean, some of them, but definitely not all of them. I mean, some are few, because again, with remind ourselves that the Westfalish Saxon dialect group is very diverse. So I just have to keep repeating that because when we think of languages, they think it's one way and only one way. Anyway, moving on. Double G, as in German or English. So like g. Next we have GN. It's kind of a simple. So we have it starting G with a h sound. So in the hun, and its cognate variant, it's a KN. Because dialects, again, they're diverse and they evolve differently and stuff like that. So there's KN. Here we have I have to remember, so the ch sound, so chr, can be written as WR. H as in German, so be ha, as in German. J as in German, so y. K, interestingly enough, is as in English, Kevin. So it's a k sound, a simple k. But it can also have a palatal k, which is kind of like a little y in there. It's a little like kia. So there's that sound that exists. There's also at the end of words, k has this. I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of like a breathy k. It's like It's like a krink, krink, krink. Yeah, krink. Something along the lines of that. Moving on. L as in German. L. M as in German. M. N as in German. P at the start of words, it's a English P sound. P. In the middle of words, is a B or a P sound. Pick or choose. And then we have QU, and it's also written as a KW, and they make a Q sound. R, trilled. And what does trilled mean? That means you roll it, baby. But at the end of words, it has a Germanic schwa. It's like as in German we have Ritter, so that part at the end. So yeah, we have an R at the end, but it's a part. So it's like it's kind of similar to standard British English, where at the end of a word it's like an sound, like writer, kind of like that, But as far as R goes, you roll it. So, and what I mean by rolling, you trill it. So it's a rrr sound. Anyway, moving on. S, surprisingly, as in English S, like a S sound. But between vowels, it's an English Z sound. Moving on. And, okay, this is an interesting one. Okay, so we have S as an English S. So it's like, and the German H sound. So it's like, put those together and you get this sounds like I'm so trying to get it. So like, so that's something you got to bear in mind. So I'll get it. So bear in mind, it's a combination of those two together. Bam, you got it. Moving on. T is in German. T. W. Okay, this is really interesting. Okay, because this goes to show how archaic Westfalish Saxon actually is. At the start of words, you could start them with as a V, as most people are taught. I would imagine, because of standard German, and because W is a V. But with this specific dialect, Ravensburg, or maybe in other dialects, that the W is actually an English W. So, or like from my source, the way they described it, the W is like they have like a faint U sound, like a ooh, like ooh, and that's that could be a relic of Old Saxon. Yeah, because not many people know this, that Westfalish Saxon is the closest dialect to Old Saxon. So that's what makes it so cool. Anyway, moving on. So you start words, in simple terms of or w or w. In the middle of words, it's a B or a V. So b or v. But in front of L or R, it's as an English B. So bear that in mind. And that's pretty much it for this letter, but bear in mind there are variations of the pronunciations of the letters, because every dialect is different. And so yeah, moving on. And surprisingly enough, double W is an English B sound, double B, so b. So that's something to bear in mind. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. I make videos whenever I can. Be sure to like my Facebook down below. And if you want to help support the show and help it grow, please become a patron on my Patreon page down below as well. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.